joined by Jaylene Murphy-Wolfe of Moonlight Wisdom Tarot. Hi, Vivi. And Jaylene is a very gifted psychic medium, and she does tarot readings, and I'm very excited. She's on. Just wait for her to join. Hey, Crystal. We're going to talk about all things self-care today, nutrition, exercise, the benefits of a morning routine, nighttime routine, all that good stuff. Here she is. All right, give us a second. Hope everybody is doing well. There she is.
Hi.
Hi there, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah,
Crystal and Vivi.
we got a couple people on. I was just giving the scoop. We're talking about all things self-care, nutrition, exercise, the importance of self-care routine, all that kind of juicy stuff today. And I'm excited because this is my first live with you.
Yeah,
And
I'm excited.
so I'm excited to have a nice conversation with you.
I am too. Okay.
So where would you like to start as far as self-care? I know this has been, just from my experience, the benefits of just having a regular routine for myself have been really, really intense. I mean, for shifting to a better mindset for myself, to a healthier lifestyle, to being more of a high vibrational being, I guess you could call it. How about yourself?
And I just wanted to say that I think a lot of the times people hear the word self-care and they think it's something so extravagant and so big, but what it actually is can sometimes be is all those little tiny things like making sure every day that you get enough water, or making sure every day
Right.
you get out and get some sun, making sure that you're like making your bed in the morning. That's a huge one that changed my life when I started to make sure that I did that every morning. And I just think that at the end of the day, it's those little tiny reminders to yourself that you care. And like you'll wake up the next morning. For example, there was, because sometimes I'll have my cravings, but I'm on a weight loss journey right now, so I'm trying not
Hmm.
to consume any like sugars or any ice cream or anything, but this is an example that is very very good to use right now. So I was having a little bit of ice cream, like it was a couple of days ago, and I woke up in the morning and I craved it again. But then I saw that the way that I had set out the spoon was like in a way where I was like setting it out in self-control, and like just having waking up the next morning, if that makes sense, like waking up the next morning and then like seeing the efforts you've made from the day before, and then all of a sudden you don't want to let yourself down and you
Right.
care too much about yourself to fall off again.
Right. Like little
And
reminders you set for yourself. Yeah.
yeah, like
Definitely.
little
It's like people
visual
who set out their
reminders.
gym clothes the night before, right? It's
Yeah.
like little reminder to get you going, to snap you back into place. And yeah, just staying present with yourself too, because a lot of times, like, especially something like a craving, it's just like comes on suddenly and we just want to react to it, right?
Yeah.
So it's taking that extra, couple seconds to kind of reground ourselves, I think. So that's where it's really huge. It's really important to learn how to kind of be aware of our thoughts and feelings in the process and not just react to things. I know
Yeah.
I speak about this a lot in a lot of like my YouTube videos and stuff like that, how we just, as a society, are just like very react to everything. But it's taking that extra couple seconds, take a couple deep breaths, and yeah, remembering where you are on your journey, and asking yourself, is this going to really benefit me, or is it going to make me feel worse about myself? So,
Yeah.
hey, Eleanor joined.
Hi,
What's
Eleanor.
up, guys? Glad to have you
I was
join us.
I
Talking
was
about all
actually
things
just
self-care, nutrition, exercise, importance of routines for ourselves, and yeah, so that's huge, especially something like a weight loss journey, and
mhm.
you found it really helpful,
Yeah, it is. And just like taking And Eleanor is someone who actually really helps me with this because
Hmm.
I I had a session with her, and my thoughts about my own weight loss and the way that I identify myself to food and going to food for emotional comfort is something that I've really, really corrected within myself. And if I do
Same
do
here.
it now, it's like it's tiny bites. It's like what I said. It's like the tiny bites, setting out the spoon just so that you know, like in like a self-control way. And yeah, it's been very, very helpful for my self-care, because if you do the binging that like that people are prone to doing, if you do go down that pathway, then all of a sudden you feel like you're on the wrong path again, and it just sucks. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about with self-care, was like not going to things externally for our own sense of comfort
Hmm.
anymore.
That's so
And
huge. Yeah.
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 What are
That's,
ways that we, like, I think we could talk about what are ways that we comfort ourselves instead of going to other things? We could go into that a little bit.
yeah, I mean, I totally resonate with the food issue because I've struggled many years with binge eating patterns, emotional eating. So it's become a process over the years of learning to nourish myself and not deprive myself. And I think everybody has their own method for doing this or whatever works for them. Like it could be setting little reminders for yourself. For me, it was more taking like a balanced approach to myself and focusing on just connecting everything like mind, heart, coordination, spirituality, and uh, and creating little, I don't know, as far as self-care, as far as eating, I don't obsess anymore like I used to. Like it's a matter of how I shifted my perspective, and I think it was a matter of me just living an overall healthy lifestyle and getting more into things like spirituality and getting more in tune with myself, or more aligned with what I was doing in my life, where I don't feel like I have to reach for other things outside of me. So it was that, but it was also forgiveness. Forgiveness is huge. So many times when people go off track, right? They do a little detour in their life. It's like we throw up our hands and we say, ah, crap, like I screwed up, and we focus solely on that rather than just forgiving ourselves and knowing that we're human, and we're not going to be perfect 100% of the time. And essentially, you know it, it's just how we're looking at it. I think, it's how we're looking at it. Are we looking at it from a place of just, I don't know, we're making it bigger than it is, in a sense, in our head. You know what I mean
Yeah,
by
yeah,
that? Yeah.
yeah,
Hi, Karen.
definitely. Okay, beautiful. Oh, definitely. And I think that it can also be a form of, this is being really fluid right now. It's going in all different directions. I love
Yeah.
it. It's
Oh,
like,
it will it'll keep
and
it'll keep going all over. Yeah.
this is fun. But that is also another way that we have to be careful of, because we have the habit of, that's a mindset that gets us into like a self-sabotaging mindset
Yeah.
kind of thing, is what you're talking about. And
Hmm.
that's very, very true. And yeah, I I started to develop this, where I went, whenever I was craving, I would just, oh, another thing that I learned, and this is actually from a session that I had yesterday. Um, I realized that maybe the reason why I'm craving certain things is because I'm not getting that stuff nutritionally from what the whole foods that I'm meant to. So, for
Hmm.
example, if your body is craving sugar, sometimes it can be because your body doesn't have enough healthy fats in it. So it
Right.
wants to get the fat from the sugar because you're not consuming healthy fat. So I thought about that yesterday. That was Misty who told me that. And so she said, like, consume avocados when you're feeling like that, or whatever else has
Hmm.
healthy fats in it. So that's a really good tip as well for self-care, in is finding out in your body the things that you're needing to eat nutritionally, and yeah, feeding yourself nutrition wise, like you said.
Yeah, because a lot of times what we're craving, it could be we're lacking certain vitamins and minerals in our body. It could be we're craving just a certain flavor, and or it
Mm-hmm.
could be by habit. I mean, I mean, we know like artificial processed sugars just create more cravings for more of that stuff, right? More of the artificial ingredients. But it's like and I'm actually working on an ebook on this exact thing, which is funny. But it's about like your physiological craving versus an emotional craving and knowing how to tell the difference between the two.
Ooh.
So, because a lot of times the emotional craving gives us like pseudo hunger pains. We think we're hungry, but we're not actually hungry. So it's learning to, and that's where it comes in, the place of where I was talking about really getting in tune with your body and connecting with your body and not just reacting to things, but really listening to what your body is asking you for, right? Do you need a certain vitamin or mineral? Do you need more calories? Are you, because a lot of people undereat in society, a lot of, especially women, they're not eating enough. And it's unhealthy essentially, to do that for a long period of time. And then people are overeating on the processed stuff, which is just allowing your body to crave more and more of it, artificial ingredients. Your body doesn't really know what to do with those ingredients, and it's going to wreak havoc on your digestion and energy levels and hormones even and all kinds of stuff. So there's so many factors that play a part, so, and everybody is different. So what works for, Joe Schmo may not work for you. So that's why, there's so many diets out there. But, I always advise you have to really listen to what your body wants and what your body craves because, we've all done diets that didn't work for us. Why didn't they work for us? They weren't sustainable for us because either our body was just like going crazy on us and saying, okay, I need more food, I need more vitamins, minerals, I need something. So everybody is really different, and you really have to tailor your nutritional needs to you and not,
To
what you
what
see
is,
on TV or read and stuff like that. So that's
yeah,
my 2 cents on it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then let's talk about, I also wanted to talk about the setting of your space, the setting of your home is something that I wanted to talk about today, and
Hmm.
we wanted to talk about today. So ways that we can take care of ourselves by setting up an environment that's clean and specific. That is so important when you have an environment around you that's clean. For me, it's these little tiny habits again that are just they just add up. It's like not leaving your dishes in your room
Mm,
if you've taken a dish to your room, or
right,
not
right.
leaving a dish on the counter, making sure it goes into the sink, like just tiny things like that, they so add up. And
Or
um
like you said, making your bed, right? I mean, making sure
yeah,
that, little things.
just
Yeah,
those little
yeah.
basic things, like you wouldn't think that it helps that much, but it really does. And another thing that I've identified that's really helped me is getting out in sun at least for half an hour a day.
Hmm.
I'm normally out for so much longer than that, but in the past I haven't. This is stuff that I have implemented recently, and I realized that I think I have some form of like seasonal depression. I don't know if that's even like I don't know
A lot of
what
people
it
do.
really is,
In the
but it's
Northeast, a lot
like
of people do.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
because I derive so much happiness and so much light from the sun, right?
Hmm.
And you absorb the sun's energy, and the sun is what keeps us happy and what fills our body literally with light. And then during the winter, especially in Canada where it's like half the year is winter, it's like it's hard because there's a lack of sun. So what I've been doing this summer is I've been getting out pretty much as I could, like every day this summer. Like I
Hmm.
really, really tried to do that. And I tried to make it so that I was out for a good amount of time and absorbing as much sun as I could. I'm very, very tanned this summer, which is great, but that has
Yeah,
nothing to
me,
do with
me too.
it. I'm just that has nothing to do with it. Like I'm just I and literally storing like sun energy in my body. That is
Yeah.
literally what I'm doing, and I'm preparing
Awesome.
myself mentally and like physically for the winter, because in Canada it's ridiculous how cold it gets up here.
Hmm.
It's 6 months out of the year, but anyway. Um
I love
okay.
Canada, man. I want to go to Canada.
Canada is, yeah. I
Especially
live in
right now.
Alberta. I live in Alberta, so I'm
Uh-huh.
close to the mountains, which
Oh,
is a blessing.
awesome. Amazing.
Yeah, so
Cool.
that's it. But I want to go to the States, you know. It's always like the
Yeah.
grass is greener on the other side. It's
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
way.
there's a lot going on here right now. So Canada
But
seems like a nice.
yeah,
Plus,
but
they're all you
how
guys are all about hockey. I love hockey, so
I'm not really all about
no.
hockey, but some people are.
But yeah, I mean, I totally resonate with that too. And this is something that I need to implement more because I've been finding myself not going outside as much as I should recently. But
Hmm.
I have implemented a new morning routine of first thing in the morning when I get up, I go outside. I go outside, I sit on the front porch or whatever, and I write for a little bit, for at least like 30, 40 minutes. And even though I'm not directly in the sun, I feel like the fresh air has really helped me just kind of, especially in the morning, because it's like 6 a.m. I'm out there, things are quiet still. It's, people running by or whatever, that's about it. But it's I don't know, especially like in the fall now it's getting a little colder here, so there's something about that crisp, fresh air that just kind of wakes your body up. So it is something that I will be implementing more, getting outside. I mean, I do try to go outside, get like my 15 minutes of, sunshine, get my vitamin D up there, but yeah, it's important. And a lot of people, like I said, in the Northeast especially, are vitamin D deficient. They don't get enough sun. They're inside too much. So, it wreaks havoc on your body because I've noticed that in the winter for myself too, a little bit of the seasonal affective
Yeah,
disorder symptoms.
definitely. Yep,
Definitely.
yep. So important. And yeah, just like you said, even if it's out on your porch, just being in the fresh air and
Hmm.
getting that new, yeah, it really, really helps. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I found that us, especially like people who do their own business and like have a lot of their life connected to the computer and our business is on the computer,
Hmm.
it makes it really hard to make that time. It really does,
Yes.
especially when we're so
Yes.
focused on that. But like you said, like going out first thing in the morning or just making, 15 minutes, it doesn't have to be much, but yeah, it really, really does help.
Yeah, there's something about the sun just on your skin, the warmth of it that just like wakes you up, jolts you awake. So it's
Yeah.
definitely better than just sitting inside in front of a screen all day. So that's a transition with doing a business where you are on the computer a lot. So it's people have to kind of make the time to go outside for a little bit or go take a walk, even if it's around the block or something.
For sure, and
Yeah,
especially because winter is coming and we're not going to be able to, or it's going to be cold to do so, or a lot
yeah,
mentally harder to do it.
yeah. It
So,
is. It is. Yeah.
yeah, let's talk about exercise and everything.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so
Where do you want to start?
I, I just wanted to, um, I don't know, just realizing how much, because for this last, I've been having regular exercise routines for a while, and my I haven't really even though I was exercising, I didn't like align my food choices with it. So I wasn't losing weight up until like a month and a half ago, but I was always keeping fit and I was always keeping healthy. But I wanted to talk about it in terms of not just like keeping healthy because you want to look a certain way or um yeah, I wanted to talk about how important it is to be doing it for you, to be actually doing
Hmm.
it for you, and to
Yeah.
actually be doing it because this is the lifestyle you want to live. And that's so important because a lot of people get, and I myself, up until very recently, with all these emotional transformations I've been going through, I realized that up until now, like up until like a month ago even, like I was always doing it subconsciously for other people to view me a certain way, or because I wanted my body to look a certain way. And that is so unhealthy, because
Yeah.
what that's telling your body is, that's telling your body, I only am doing this because of superficial reasons, right?
Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
body
Yeah.
knows. And
Yeah.
that's so, so key in terms of doing your exercises, making sure that you're doing it and you're like, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you. Like, let's go and let's do this. Like, let's have fun. Let's
Right.
go on a bike ride. Just like being heartfelt about it to yourself is so
Yeah.
important.
And I think that's where a lot of people are hung up. They're doing exercise not for themselves. They're not doing it because it makes them feel good. They're doing it, they're viewing it in a way where it's torture and suffering. This
Yes.
is not the way to go about it. That is not going to, be like long lasting for yourself. And so many people do it. I mean, I've done it too, where it's, you have to get to a place where you learn to like exercise and view it as, okay, exercise does not equal me huffing and puffing on a treadmill for 2 hours a day and struggling. Like exercise could be, like you said, going out for a bike ride or going out in nature and going for a walk. It's this skewed perception of it, right?
Yeah.
That it's like exercise is, I don't know, a lot of people are intimidated by it for one, and secondly, it's looked at as, as suffering for a lot of people, and that's why they don't stick with it. Yeah, and for me, this goes back to even the nutritional, like listen to your body, what works for you. Because we've all been there, we've all done stuff just to try to look good, right? It's like, I want a six pack, so I'm going to do this, routine or whatever, but your body feels horrible on it, So I'm getting to a place now where because I feel like, I don't know, past few months or so, like I kind of lost my connection to exercise or my love to exercise. Like I took a little break from it for a while. Not like a break, like I was still working out and I was doing just like, I don't know, like body weight stuff, just here and there, nothing crazy. But now I'm at a point where my body is calling me to have it be a priority again, have it be a main focus for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you feel like that little nudge, like, okay, I want you to step it up and I want you to put this as one of your priorities, okay? Health and fitness again, because you've
Yes.
been working on other priorities, other things, and you've kind of put it on the back burner or days where I would just like skip it and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I am right now. And I think it's important to listen to your body, what it needs, Sometimes we get bored with our routines and we need to switch it up. We need to switch it up. Like our body's calling us to switch it up, whether it's, our body wants you to do more cardiovascular exercises or it wants you to do more like resistance exercises. Um, so, um, so I feel like that's important to really connect to, again, what your body is
Yeah.
calling for, because it's
Yeah.
going to shift and you're going to evolve based on your needs and how you're feeling and everything else that you have going on in your life at that time, you know?
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
like, if you are someone who goes to a gym and you're seeing other people exercise and you're comparing yourself, that
yeah,
is
that
also
never
something that
works,
wrecks it.
right?
Also, in society, we really treat it as a competition because it's ancestral. It's like survival of the fittest. So
Mm-hmm.
we really, really do associate fitness with survival sometimes, which is completely fine. It's probably a bit true. Like, if there was ever a situation, which there's not going to be, but
Right.
but so yes, the competition thing we have to scrap. And what is important about that is what you said, listening to your body as you're performing and as you're doing that, whatever you're doing. And just, if you feel like for that day you're good with just a 15-minute bike ride and maybe a couple of crunches, if it's just something small that day, then that's fine. If that day you feel like I need a rest and I need to just do nothing, that's fine too.
Yeah,
And just
yeah,
listening. And if you feel like it's a really, really like intense day and you just want to channel that like real like power out of you, then great. But yeah, being able to listen to that. And another thing I noticed is actually the best thing for weight loss and to get the most like active minutes, which is keeping your heart rate up for longer, the best thing to do that I found is walking.
Mm, yeah.
Walking at a fast pace where
Like
you're
intervals
focused.
and yeah.
Yeah, where you're focused very, very firmly on what, and if you can choose like a path that has some hills in it too, that's great, because then that's activating more of your leg muscles. But walking for long distances, for like very, very fast and focused, gets you
Hmm.
sweating. It's a very, very good workout. It's
Yeah, yeah.
I can't even recommend that more. But I also wanted to say that Karen asked a question. So she said, how do both of you connect to nature? Do you want to answer?
I go out into nature. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been doing it as much lately because of coronavirus, but going to parks, just walking around. The thing is, I like to go where there's not a lot of people, where I can
Yeah.
just kind of like tune out. A lot of the parks around here are crowded with a lot of people, unfortunately. It's like screaming children and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I like to go where it's a little more desolate and where I can just kind of walk. For some reason, I love running water. So somewhere that has like a stream with running water, there's something about water that I connect to. That's something about like the cleanliness of it and not stagnant water, but running water. It's very like clean. So yeah. How about you?
I also I'm a Pisces sun, so I don't know if you have any water in your chart, do
I'm
you?
an Aquarius,
Yeah. Well,
water bearer. Yeah.
my moon sign is Aquarius.
Okay.
So it makes sense why we're connecting so well. It's like but for me, water is a big thing as well. But you guys know I love, like everyone in FTPA, I think you guys know I love hiking. So hiking
Hiking.
is my,
Yeah, hiking is awesome.
oh my goodness, because there's nobody out there, barely,
Hmm.
because like really, like hiking is something that not a lot of people do. And if they do it, you got to find trails that aren't very populated. But for me, it's going on a hike, because what that does, like, and it's got to be in like a forest area, and sometimes you're not able to do that. So we can talk about a little bit about what you can do in a city and then what you can do in the forest. So if you have a car and you're able to get out to a forest nearby or a trail nearby, that's the best, because what that is it's untouched land. It's something that you're surrounded by all of the spirits. And of course, in the city, you're so surrounded by all the earth spirits as well.
Hmm.
But getting into nature and really, really getting out into just wild, like untouched nature is something that is so invaluable and really has changed me this summer, because I made a big, big point to do it this summer. To go out and get myself connected. And for me, I really like swimming in natural water areas. So I have this one lake that's near me, and it's called Chinook Lake.
Hmm.
And I like to swim in it. And I swim in it, and then around the lake, so I would go and I would spend the day there. I would swim, and then around the lake there's that trail, Dead Man's Pass, and that trail takes you like all the way to the BC border if you want to. So I did that this
Cool.
summer, and wow, it's like it is such good exercise. And I don't know what it is, and what it is about it is that
Yeah.
it connects you to your roots. It really
Yeah.
does. Like that is
I
something
agree.
that is so primal and raw in us that we have definitely not valued enough as a culture and need to reconnect with, because I feel that if we did, that we would all be a lot different and just more at peace, because nature is that one place where you can go and you can literally just talk to yourself for once. Like you can
Right.
just talk out loud to
Right.
yourself and hear yourself and not worry about anyone else looking at you and thinking that you're like, crazy.
Right.
So
Right.
it's
And
like
it doesn't cost anything, for the
it,
most
it
part.
doesn't
Yeah.
cost
Yeah.
anything, and
Yeah.
you're walking on literally roots the whole time onto the
Yep.
rocks, and it's like
Yeah.
And then here in my city, I'm actually pretty lucky because I have what's called coulees, which are a mix between hills and mountains. So I sometimes go down into there and it's like a
Cool.
nature area.
Yeah, yeah.
But then let's also talk about for the city what you can do to connect to nature. I know Karen, she lives right near a beach, so that's what you can
Oh,
do. That's what she
that
can
would be
do.
awesome. Yeah, walking on the beach.
Yeah, just go
Hmm.
to the beach, sit in the sand, which she does often because she goes and does her lives there. So that's her thing.
I'm gonna
But
come visit you, Karen.
yeah,
I
no,
could go to the
it's
Jersey
so
Shore. It's just not as
oh,
not
it's
as
so
appealing.
beautiful.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's something about the beach, and I mean, I remember, I've gone on vacations and stuff where going to the beach at night, especially, and nobody around, it's dark, and just staring out into the vastness of the ocean is amazing. You know, it just kind of opens up your your consciousness a little bit, opens up your mind a little bit more, just because you can't see beyond the horizon. It's just like, you know, just all this water, all this water, all this black
Yeah.
vastness, and it's just amazing. So yeah, I love the beach too.
Yeah.
Oh, Vivi wants us to come to Greece. Yeah, I'll come to Greece. So yeah, the
You
the
live in
beach.
Greece.
She does, she does. The
Wow.
beach and hiking. I love hiking as well. I love hiking as well. And
Yeah,
there's
BC is
some pretty
nice.
good hiking spots here too, where some like reservations and mountainous type places to hike. But there's something about it, just connecting, like you said.
Yeah.
And I would much rather hike in the middle of the woods than in a busy city than walk in a
That's
crowded city for sure.
yeah, and that's what I
Not
wanted
my
to
not my
say too.
thing. Not a city gal. Yeah.
Because it's something about in the forest you can just be yourself in a way that you can't in the
Yeah.
city. It's
Yeah.
just there's so much conditioning in the city. And so if you've got that access, make that time and do that for yourself. Like that is has been so important for me this summer. I can't even say. Oh my goodness. It's really transformed
Yeah.
my body and my mind this summer a lot. But then, if you're in a city, like for example, when I used to live in Calgary, there used to be, for example, if you live in a city and there's a river that flows through it, go to the river and just sit there.
Right.
And go to part of the river that's not populated. Go to, if you can find a place in your city, walking distance doesn't have to be, but if you can find a place in your city and it's that nice quiet space, maybe there's like 5 to 10 people you see walk by in the time that you're there.
Yeah.
That's great. But
Yeah.
then also, if I'm needing a quick little, almost like a fix me up of nature, I have this park that's right across, like what you said with yours.
Mhm.
There's a whole field of grass. Like I'm very close to that park. There's like little community municipal parks are perfect. Like you don't need to.
Mhm.
The great thing about nature is that like it's prevailing everywhere, so
Yeah. Yeah, I
it's
mean, a great
everywhere.
thing to do is go like first thing in the morning where it's maybe not as populated, it's more
Yeah, that
quiet.
too.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone right in the neighborhood to parks, the neighboring towns and just sat on a bench, again around water and just stared at the ducks, or brought my little notebook
Yeah.
and wrote. I mean, that's one of my favorite things to do, or it used to be one of my favorite things to do, is just like plop my butt on a bench and write in my little journal and, stare at the ducks or something. So
Yeah.
it's something very, sometimes, very simple things can have a huge impact on
Yeah,
us. And we don't even
absolutely.
realize that we don't need to go on like a very extravagant vacation and spend thousands of dollars,
Absolutely not. Yeah,
just
that's
to
what I mean.
connect back with ourselves. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's
so
exactly what I
huge.
mean.
And Karen wants to know, do you connect to trees?
Oh, all the time. Even in the middle of the city, I'll stop and hug one, my friends.
You hug
I
trees?
don't
Yeah.
care what anyone
Awesome.
thinks. I
Yeah.
will always do that if I feel the urge to. And sometimes
Yeah.
the trees will tell me that they're shy and I have to stop. Because I
Amazing.
hugged this tree the other day that was downtown and I was like in front of, like, it was in downtown and I was like in front of, I don't even care, but I didn't care. And it was like, sometimes the spirits of the trees and the animals, they're actually shy. Like they don't want attention. and that's just so cute.
Hmm.
So, yeah, especially deers
Awesome.
and stuff that I'll see around, and I'll stop and I'll talk to them, and they'll just look at me and they'll look away as if to say, "Stop
They're,
talking."
they're shy,
Yeah,
shy deer.
they're so cute. So cute because there's these two
Yeah.
little fawn that are right by my house, just a little bike ride
Hmm.
down. And it's the mom and the two fawn. And yeah, they're really, really cute. So yes, I do talk to trees, of course. Of course.
I don't talk to trees so much, but I do find it fast. There's a lot of like old houses in my neighborhood. I have a tree in my backyard that's over 100 years old. So I always, it's this huge oak tree, and it's I always think back like, wow, this was here like, you know, hundreds of years ago. You know what I mean? Like you just think back to just the history and what the tree has been through. You know what I mean? Or all the evolutions of things around it, and so it's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do it make you cry, or
Oh no.
you are moved by the
I'm
trees?
just rubbing my
The
eyes.
tree has seen the tree
I'm a
has seen a
very,
lot. You're right.
very sensitive person. You guys all
Hey,
know
that's
this.
okay. It's all
I
good.
am so sensitive. I'm a very, very, yeah, and that's my Pisces. I'm a big sponge, which is a good thing. I love
That is
that
a good
about
thing.
me.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Cool. Do you guys
Do you
have any
guys have any
questions for us or anything else? I'm trying to
anything
think.
aloe vera? I
Oh,
bought
would you
this
say
this
that's aloe
morning.
vera?
Yeah, I bought
Oh,
this
I have
this
an
morning.
aloe plant too in my kitchen.
So
Yeah.
cute. It's just tiny. Yeah, do you guys have any questions?
Any questions? Any other comments? Anything else that you wanted to talk about, Jaylene, as far as self-care, routines,
We talked
anything even like
about
sleep schedules?
and paying attention to your body's reaction to meat is very important that I've realized. And it
Do
depends
you eat
also,
meat?
not at this time.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
have gone through cycles in my life. It's all about talking to your body though, like you said, because I've gone through a phase in my life where I was a vegetarian. Then I went to pescatarian because I just couldn't handle it anymore, which is eating fish.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, my body really needs meat for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
now I'm back into the pescatarian thing because what I found was that as I was eating meat, I literally found that I was feeling heavier. Like I just
Mm.
energetically, sometimes your
Yeah.
body will
Yeah.
go through phases of being more sensitive to it.
Definitely.
And that's
Definitely agree.
perfectly okay. And
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. I've never done vegan, but I'm sure that that would have so much health benefits.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing I wanted to touch on is just paying attention to what your body feels about the meat you consume and being careful that maybe perhaps you buy like free range meat or things like
Organic
that.
meats and yeah. Yeah, I mean that's definitely important. I mean, my body, I mean, I've never gone vegan, vegetarian, but I have noticed that my body does feel better when I do eat meat. So I eat meat, I feel like it's just it gives me energy, whereas some people it makes them feel heavy, but I limit like beef, and I try to, eat organic when I can. I do follow mostly gluten-free, dairy-free lifestyle. I
See,
find that
that's another thing.
that has really benefited me, because I notice if I eat it now, it's like inflammation city, throughout my whole body, and it wreaks havoc on my digestion, makes me feel bloated, more sluggish, have headaches, all kind of things. So for the most part, I've been following gluten-free, dairy-free for years now, and I find that for myself, that's huge. That's huge. Just makes me feel better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I've
yeah.
never done gluten free, never done dairy free, but I
Hmm.
definitely that's exactly what I'm talking about is paying attention to how your body reacts to the different
Right. And
things
your
that
and
you
your
eat.
body will change over time because, as a kid, most of us had milk and, I would eat whatever I wanted. But as an adult, you actually, your needs and what your body can process changes. even like the way how you digest dairy, things like that can shift as you get older. So, yeah, it's important to pay attention to because I think a lot of people eat things and they're having these physical symptoms. They might have headaches, on a daily basis, but they don't really attribute it to the food. They're like,
Yeah,
oh, I feel like so phlegmy today, or I have like all this sinus stuff, but they don't connect the things together, they don't connect both together. And I'm always on my parents' case about this, and they'll probably watch this and be like, oh, um, because, things like dairy, I'm always like, dairy's giving you, making you mucusy, but yeah, it's something to pay attention to, just how certain foods are affecting you, because we do develop sensitivities or even allergies to certain foods.
yeah,
So if you're having physical reactions or you're feeling like brain fog or headaches or even getting like rashes more often than usual, or your digestion is out of whack, then, maybe try and go without certain food or pinpoint what you think it might be. Go try it for a week or two without and see if that's the cause, kind of pinpoint. So it's kind
exactly.
of playing around with it a lot of times.
Exactly. And just
Yeah.
paying attention and not ignoring it and just
Yeah,
listening.
not ignoring it, because if you ignore it, then it's going to lead to larger problems later on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. Cool. Anything else? No questions for us?
I don't think so.
No. All right.
Anybody have any questions?
Questions, concerns, insight? No, nothing. All right. Anything else on your end, Jaylene? This was a great
I
conversation, great discussion.
This really was. I
Yeah,
think
I like
there's
talking about all things health, nutrition, self-care, all that good stuff. So I feel a lot of people resonate with it.
yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. All right. So if nobody has anything, then I guess we'll end it here. And I want to thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
was our first live, and I think it was awesome. It was awesome. So hopefully we'll do it again.
Thank you. I hope so
Sound
too.
good?
Okay,
All right. We'll
sounds good.
see you guys later, and everybody have a great day. Thank you again for joining, and take care.